Sports Talk Radio with a local angle, where we give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports, interview area coaches and players, and get you ready to start your day.
Good morning.
Now grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass, because it's time to go inside the cave.
That's right. We welcome you inside the cave a Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock. Ian Wentz, John Kane with you today till 9.
Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Lenawee.
Well, this is a flashback to the past of you and I being here on a Wednesday or just doing a show together. It's been a while.
Yeah, but I haven't missed it.
I'm sure you haven't. I'm sure you haven't. We got Heisman football talk, local college football, or high school football getting underway. This weekend, I ranked the playoff teams. We'll get John's reaction to those. I'm sure he's got a few. Michigan State, big win in men's basketball. Actually, an upset of Rutgers. Who would have thought I would say that preseason? But, yeah. All of that and more coming up in the show. Our Maple Street Auto Wash trivia question coming up around 8:15 this morning. So we got a fun question for you. Chance to win a car wash. What?
Well, I haven't, like you said, I haven't been on a Wednesday in quite a while.
Right.
Actually, even
This
before
will
I
be
did
your first trivia
even
question.
before I did Tuesday, Friday, I did Tuesday, Thursday.
Right. I know, it's been a long time.
No, I don't remember doing a Wednesday.
Oh, maybe you never have.
But I did do a trivia question, the first one.
Huh.
Whenever we started that thing.
Do you want to give it?
No.
Do you have a question?
No,
You're going to leave that on me? Okay. Also, later on in the show, in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll talk to Adrian College women's hockey coach Sean Skelly. Talk about their D1 escapades as they traveled out east to take on some Division I talent. So a busy show. Let's dive right in.
All right, Wednesday morning here inside the cave. Of course, normally you wouldn't hear this on a Wednesday, but I'm here. So I'll give my COVID update. We had 66 new cases as of yesterday and 18 related hospitalizations. There have been fortunately, no new deaths reported. And so one of the other things we're keeping track of, according to the State of Michigan website, says that there have been 800 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine administered here in Lenawee County as of Monday, January 4th. So let's keep that rocking and rolling. All right, high school football playoff.
Playoffs?
Playoffs, man. Who would have thought we'd ever be saying that in January? On the 6th, anyway. But yeah, we got some games coming, and one of them with 3 local teams. They're going to be in the playoffs. Of course, Clinton, Sand Creek, Lenawee Christian, and they've started practicing again just recently. And to say it has been challenging and frustrating is a bit of an under. We were speaking with Coach Jeremy Fielder of Clinton. This is what he had to say about it.
The most frustrating thing is the restart, shutdown, and then just the not knowing. Honestly, it's being shut down and then being told we'll be able to finish because of the vaccine protocol, and then not necessarily knowing what that protocol entails until right during the holiday season. right after Christmas, we find out everything that we're going to have to do. But it is what it is. We're just going to be happy to continue to be able to participate, and we'll do what we need to do.
The Clinton under Fielder's been really successful, so they've gotten used to it. It's normally an entire town, the whole town of Clinton, would travel to the game site to root on their team, but not in this strange season.
Well, no, nobody is. We're the only ones because the MHSA is not allowing any spectators. So, it's extremely stressful situation for the parents. It really is, especially of the seniors. Right. To have to miss something of this magnitude. But you know what? Just like everything else, this is what we have to do to get it done. It's difficult. It's going to be difficult on the moms and dads and the families.
That was Clinton Redskin football coach Jeremy Fielder. All right, Lenawee Christian coach Bill Wilharms echoes the sentiment of Fielder that it's been kind of crazy.
It has, going from the big delay, then getting that going, for a couple of days, then getting told to stop again, and now getting used to the testing and all of that. But my hat's off to my kids and to our coaching staff, and I think around the county with Clinton and Sand Creek, everybody's willing to jump through the hoops to get that opportunity to play. And right now everybody's been tested negative, so that's a positive for us.
And of course, that was Bill Wilharms, the Lenawee Christian Cougars head football coach. Well, the Cave will be previewing the Clinton, Lenawee Christian, and Sand Creek playoff games Thursday and Friday of this week. And of course, we do want to tell you that we've got it all covered right now as far as we know. And the Clinton game will be 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon right here on 96.5. The Cave, Lenawee Christian will be playing, Clinton, of course, playing Warren Collegiate. Lenawee Christian in the 8-man will take on Martin. That's a state semifinal game. That will happen 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon on Big Sis 103.9 WLAN. And the Sand Creek Aggies will go up against Centerville. They're going to be taking on Centerville. That one had got rescheduled, and the latest that we know now is supposed to be a 4:30 start, and that will be on Q95. So we've got all of that, 95.3. Got them all covered, so keep it tuned here if you want to hear your team in action. All right, two very recognizable names for local fans. Calvin Megatron Johnson and Charles Woodson, nominated for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Johnson spent 9 seasons with the Lions. Megatron amassed over 11,600 receiving yards with 92 touchdowns. Woodson won the Heisman Trophy while playing at Michigan, and then in the NFL he posted 38 interceptions and 115 passes defended for the Packers, for all people, from 2006 to 2012. Exactly. He holds franchise records for the most touchdowns on interceptions, 9, and most defensive touchdowns, 10. Woodson is one of 3 players in NFL history with 25 or more interceptions with 2 teams, Oakland and Green Bay. Peyton Manning, no surprise, is among 15 finalists for the Hall in 2021. The star quarterback and owner of a record 5 NFL Most Valuable Player awards and 2 Super Bowl titles, was one of the most prolific passers in NFL history in 18 pro seasons and 265 starts out of 266 games. Being the top overall draft choice by Indianapolis in 1998, and he had 14 seasons with 4,000 plus receiving yards. I think Indy got their money out of him. He must be pretty good.
It must be pretty good. Yeah, I'd say they did.
I think they got their money's worth. Probably doesn't usually happen, but it does sometimes.
Yeah.
Getting your money's worth in the NFL, not only from a team standpoint, but from a fan standpoint.
Growing up a Steeler fan, or as I grew into my Steeler fandom,
Yeah.
you knew you were going to run into the Colts.
Well,
And Peyton Manning.
let's just hope you can do it with the Browns this year.
We'll talk about that later. If we get through this update, John.
Okay, the update.
Uh-huh.
2 in a row for Sparty Dumb.
What? It's a Sparty story.
Aaron Henry, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks, helping number 23 Michigan State pull away to beat number 15 Rutgers 68-45. Spartans had a 17-point scoring edge in the second half to win a second straight game after opening Big Ten play with 3 straight losses. So Izzo got off that one there. He never had gone 0-4.
Want to play the cut with that, or are we going to keep going?
Yeah, we're gonna play the cut with that. There's a shot. I mean, it's like a 3-point shot, but you know how much is that in a 23-point win? I don't know.
All right, here we go.
Rocket Watts at the point. 10 on the shot clock. He's breaking to the basket. Picks up the dribble now to Hauser. Hauser launches a 3. He got it.
Wow, did Michigan State need that? Did Joey Hauser need that? Great shot.
The iconic. He got it.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Hey,
that was
game
huge.
was during the cave.
Huh?
You
That's
could
true.
do that game on the cave.
It was on the cave, and the Spartans just decided.
We got it
Right.
on the cave.
The Spartans decided to play some defense
I'll tell you what,
last
they
night.
sure did.
Yeah. All right. The Scarlet Knights made fewer than 1/3 of their shots. They started 0 for 7 at the line and finished making just 3 of 12 free throws. You know, when you can't hit free throws, you know your shooting is in the toilet. Anywhere on the court, practically. So it was going to be a long night. Nice defense by Michigan State. Tigers have signed outfielder Robbie Grossman to a 2-year, $10 million contract. I'm going to try and get through a few more of the updates. We can come back to this,
Sure,
but
yeah.
we did that. And the Red Wings have spent half a decade rebuilding. Well, they still might not be. This still might not be the year. The once proud franchise with 11 Stanley Cups and a record, 25 years in a row. They made the playoffs. So they're still working on it, but you know I got faith because the guy pulling all the strings is really good, and that would be Stevie Y. All right. Well, move over running backs.
Take
Yeah.
a seat.
Yeah, he not only moved over, but he ran past running backs. Alabama wide receiver Devonta Smith has emerged as the best player in college football, accordingly winning the Heisman Trophy Tuesday night, breaking the monopoly of quarterbacks that they've had on football's most prestigious award by beating out 3 of them. Devontae with this message to youngsters out there.
Not the biggest, not the strongest. Just keep pushing, because I'm not the biggest. I've been doubted a lot just because of my size. And really, it just comes down to you put your mind to it, you can do it. No job is too big. If you put your mind to it, you can do it, and just keep believing in God, and you'll get where you want to be.
Lions fans, I hope you tuned in for that. Just
Yeah,
saying.
we'll see.
Early mock drafts.
Yeah, I see that. I
Mhm.
see that. The only question is if he'll be able to hold up in the NFL due to his size, which he just talked about. All right, as long as he can keep running away from people, he won't have a problem.
Right? Get him football, run away from people,
Yeah.
score a touchdown. Pretty easy.
The Crimson Tide senior's the 4th receiver to win the Heisman, joining Michigan's Desmond Howard in 1991, Notre Dame's Tim Brown in 1987, and Nebraska's Johnny Rodgers in 1972. Okay, college football playoff. Why would we think there wouldn't be some kind of drama on this deal? Executive Director Bill Hancock says the national championship game between number 1 Alabama and number 3 Ohio State is still a go for Monday night. AL.com reports that Ohio State has been in contact with CFP officials about possible player availability problems related to COVID-19 that could force the game to be delayed. A person with knowledge of the situation confirmed those discussions to the Associated Press. And like everything else in this world, we'll keep you updated.
I wish I were the person with knowledge of the situation for one of these. They know a lot
I know.
about a lot of situations.
I'm wondering if they can make any money on it because they got knowledge of the situation.
Intellectual something, yeah. I don't know.
Whatever. I don't know. If you got knowledge, maybe you can make some money. That's what they say, right? Knowledge is power.
Yep.
Okay. Yesterday we heard from Alabama coach Nick Saban. Today his counterpart Ryan Day from Ohio State on the big title game next Monday night.
Our guys fought so hard to have this opportunity. Now we're here. Unbelievable opportunity to play. Great program. So much respect for David and his staff and the players and the tradition of winning there. So, really looking forward to a great week of preparation as we work our way down to Miami.
That was Ryan Day, the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, we got to your story here. 2 days after celebrating their return to the NFL playoffs, the Cleveland Browns, did they beat the Steelers to get in? Was that what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
24-22.
Whoa, nice game.
Yeah. It was a crazy ending.
They'll go to the postseason with a disadvantage. Where's oops.
Yeah, there's plexiglass there, John.
Where's the one over there? Where they're going to the season with a disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss Cleveland's first playoff game since 2002. Normally when you hire the coach, you expect him. This is one place you expect him to be, don't you? Well, I would think. Your first playoff. Yeah. You expect him to be there. Okay, special teams coordinator Mike Prefer will be acting head coach on Sunday against the Steelers. Pro Bowl guard Joel Bitonio and wide receiver Cadrell Hodge also tested positive, along with 2 more assistant coaches. The thing is I know they're scrambling. Hopefully, it's not going to get any worse.
Well,
let's face it.
Play it.
Let's face it. The Browns are going to have a hard enough time beating the Steelers. Having to turn around and play them again after a 2-point win, and now they got missing in action. We got some MIAs here.
Yep, and I think that's good for the update. I think we got enough out there. But one thing on the Browns we might circle back to it is from every reporting I've heard, it's not spreading within the team. And if it were spreading within the team that way, then they would consider moving it or something like that. But from what I've heard, it's mostly they're getting it from, they call it the community. So they're going out somewhere and they got it and they have it.
We need to get through this thing before those 2 new strains, which are far more highly contagious than the original, gets a grip here in the USA. Got to get through this, otherwise we may not make it, for crying out loud. And we're talking it all the way along the line: high school, college, professional. Let's get the football season over with.
Well, good news from I think it was Lenawee Christian coach Bill Wilhelm saying they're all negative testing.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
That's good. That's great.
See, Cleveland, go talk to Wilhelms.
Bill knows what's going on.
Yeah, it can be done. It can be done. 0, all tests are negative.
That's right. We're actually up against a break.
Huh?
I know. You gotta go.
Okay.
We'll take a break. Be right back inside the cave. John says peace out to the camera. That's right. We're live on our YouTube channel today. Lenawee Broadcasting Company. You can find the link on Facebook and Twitter. I have it posted up there. We'll be back talking playoffs right after this. Inside the Cave.
Runaway Sports Lineup. It's all here on 96.5 The Cave.
.28 on a Wednesday morning. Good morning, Ian Wentz. John Kane with you today. Normally it's a John Roberts, but today we have a John Kane across the way, giving you all the information you need to know, talking sports, debating sports. You can tune in, of course, on the air, 965 on your FM dial, or go over to our website, 965thecave.com. But if you want to see us today, we are streaming live on our YouTube channel, Lenawee Broadcasting Company. You can find the link on Facebook and Twitter. Once you get there, make it easy on yourself. Subscribe. We upload videos and audio of past shows. You can go back and listen to your favorite moments, your favorite takes, or your least favorite takes for Inside the Cave. Regardless, we welcome you into the show today.
Why'd you take my line?
What line? Saying good morning?
You said, that's what I should say. You said, good morning, Ian Went. Why would you say good morning to yourself?
Good morning,
that's supposed
period.
That's supposed
Ian
to be
Went.
my line, to say good morning, Ian Went.
Oh, well, good morning, John.
See, so you said good morning to yourself. I didn't
Good
say
morning, pause. Ian Went with you, you know.
You know?
I'll talk. People get it. They know what we're doing here. Are you ready to get into this?
Yeah.
NFL wildcard weekend.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, right.
All right, so the matchups.
No local flavor here. Where's the local flavor?
There's no local team in it.
I know.
Lions didn't make it. So
I know.
Tough luck.
That's what I'm saying.
People care
That's
about
what I'm
this.
saying.
That's what we're going to talk about.
They do. Okay.
Yep.
Should take a poll.
All right, the NFC. Green Bay at 1, New Orleans 2, Seattle 3, Washington 4. Chicago goes to New Orleans, LA goes to Seattle again, and Tampa Bay goes to Washington. The AFC, Kansas City at 1, Buffalo number 2 taking on Indianapolis number 7, Pittsburgh at 3 taking on 6-seeded Cleveland, number 5 Baltimore travels to number 4 Tennessee. So those are the 14 teams in. John Roberts and I normally do a top 16, can't do it. There's only 14 teams playing. So that's what I'll keep it on here. Now with these rankings, they're like a power ranking. They're not a who's got the best record, because that's dumb, easy, and there's no debate. So you have to factor in, you can factor in the records, because that indicates how you did during the year, but your recent performance and the matchup you have are sort of things I took into consideration here. So I'm going to start at number 14.
Well, I'm going to just tell you who my number 1 is.
Okay.
My number 1, that would be Washington.
Why?
Well, I think anyone that gets in with what, a 6-10 record?
7-9.
Okay, 7-9. Anyone that gets in the playoffs with a 7-9 deserves all the credit in the world, because it's not easy to do, and it may not ever happen ever again.
I'm picking up your sarcasm.
Well, I should hope so, because I'm laying it on it pretty thick.
Yeah, John Kane with the football team at number 1. But Washington is not number 14 on my list. So I'm giving them a little love. I have Los Angeles at 14. They're matched up with Seattle. Jared Goff didn't play week 17. The offense can look pretty sluggish. Their defense is good.
And they haven't looked real good the last couple of weeks heading in.
No.
Kind
of falling in.
Yeah, right. They fell in all right. They started that whole downward slide with that clunker against the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you got a little bit of cred with that one. But you base it 14 on what their chances were of maybe winning their first round game. Is that kind
right,
of factor
yeah,
into
it's the matchup, how they've looked lately, and kind of their record. A little bit.
Okay.
Their record, not so much, because it's the playoffs and you throw out their records, all those cliches.
Right.
But between 12 and 14, I had a bit of an issue. I mean, they're all playoff teams. But, yeah, I put LA at 14. Can they beat Seattle? Maybe. Could be a gross, ugly game again. But there, LA at 14. Number 13, Chicago. What is this team? They start 5-1, lose 6 in a row, and then finish 8-8, make the playoffs. Is Trubisky for real? I don't know. That defense can play lights out.
I don't
do
care.
it against New Orleans.
I don't care. I hate the Bears. I hate the Bears. I would put them at 20 in the power ranking.
Right, you can hate, you hate the Packers.
I
right?
hate the Packers,
but you can admit
not
they're
quite
good.
as much as the Bears.
I know you don't like. You're not a Chicago fan.
But the thing is, I can at least, I've got respect for Green Bay for what they accomplished this year, which I didn't really think that was going to happen. To tell you the truth, everyone complained that they didn't surround Rodgers with some more offensive weapons in last year's draft. Well, I think they did pretty well offensively. That's all I can say.
Right, and we might be going on a rabbit hole with this. We start with the Bears and switch to the Packers. What if Green Bay's just good at drafting talent in later rounds, and that's who Aaron throws to?
Well, what if...
Kind of like Pittsburgh. They draft a receiver in the second round.
What if the Lions go after the Packers GM?
Sure. All right, moving up to 12. I have the football team at 12 because I know what they are. They have a really good D-line that can get to the quarterback. They have an offense that...
The Packers are at 12?
No, the football team.
The
Washington.
football team. Oh, Washington.
Yeah,
well, I didn't know you went back to Washington.
Trademark the football team.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
So you don't call them Washington, and they don't have a mascot name. You just call them the football team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, football team at 12.
When did you start doing that anyway?
What do you mean? When they did it.
Oh.
When they got rid of their name.
Okay, whatever. See, I haven't worked with you, and so I don't know
That's what they're called. If you watch the football team game, like the football team and the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
No? Okay.
That's really bad football, and I'm really not
That
into
was
it.
bad football. But I know what they are. Alex Smith is a pretty solid QB. Yeah, D-line is good. I kind of know what they are, but it's not great. They won a bad division. Give them all the credit in the world, but they're at number 12. Indianapolis, number 11. Not sure about Phillip Rivers. I mean, which one's going to show up? The lights out Phillip Rivers against Detroit, or stumbling Phillip Rivers
doesn't mean anything
in the second half against Pittsburgh? Indy's got an okay defense. They're not too bad. Offense, Jonathan Taylor is looking pretty good, the rookie from Wisconsin. But yeah, Indy's been around that 8 to 11 spot for me all year, and I put them at 11.
Yeah, you can't use Indy as which quarterback's going to show up off of what they did against the Lions. There were a lot of quarterbacks that were lights out against the Lions this year.
Sure.
But that's not a barometer for anything.
And something that'll factor in too to Indy being at 11 is who they're playing in the first round. Perhaps the hottest team in all of football in Buffalo. So they're going to go to Buffalo in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it'll be snowing. That'll be fun to watch. But Phillip Rivers, old man, achy bones, going over to Buffalo puts Indy at number 11.
Buffalo would love for it to, for them to get one of those like they got a few years ago, 100-incher out of one storm. They would love to have tons of snow in that game and play against a team that plays indoors. Of course you would.
Exactly. Number 10, I have Seattle. They're not that great right now. I mean, they're kind of sputtering. The offense recently isn't that good. Defense has improved. They got some guys there, but I don't know what to make of the Seattle-LA game, but I know it's not great NFC football. Can Russell turn it on and play great? Sure, but has he recently?
Okay,
not necessarily.
Well, where's that in your pick? I bet you're picking Seattle.
I didn't pick them, but I do have them ranked higher.
Well, haven't you picked all these games yet?
What do you mean, no?
Why not?
You don't pick till when? Friday?
No, you gotta have them
Thursday?
in. You gotta have them in tomorrow.
Really?
It's always got to be in tomorrow. That's the
No,
way
I
it's
think
been
we'll
all
do it
season.
Friday this week.
You know,
Because there's no Thursday game.
so
Based on this, I
but
got
I'm gonna
Seattle
say,
winning.
yeah, I know you're going to pick Seattle.
I'm not saying it'll be a good game.
It doesn't have to be a good game. You're picking Seattle to win.
Based on the power ranking I put together, yes. Number 9, Tennessee. Defense is not good. We saw it against Houston in a game they had to win in Week 17. Derrick Henry's a monster. Ryan Tannehill is quietly one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Well, if he can't be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, something's really wrong. Because you look at Tennessee, they have the best opportunity for play action in the league. Because everyone's crawling all over Henry, and if you can't hit open receivers in play action with him, then something's wrong.
Well, you see it with Cleveland too, and Baker Mayfield and the success he's had doing the same thing.
That's right.
Hand it off 50 times, play action, the defense goes, what?
Yeah.
And the guy's behind you.
Exactly.
For sure. But Tennessee's got a tough one with Baltimore coming up in Wild Card Weekend. A very similar style.
You know, that's probably, I'm going to say the biggest, maybe the biggest hard luck game for two teams in the playoffs. For them to run into each other in the first round. Now I know that, you know, things, they kind of slipped a little bit, but still, those are two pretty solid I think that's the closest matchup of the first round.
And you want to run the football, you want to watch running football.
Yep.
Tune into that one.
That's right.
Tennessee and Baltimore. We'll take a break. I'm 14 through 9 on my top 14 for the NFL playoffs. Getting John's reaction. So far, so good.
Before we go to the break, you know, if you're out there listening, you want to give us a call. Just give us a call. The number is 265-4000.
517 is the area code. We'll be right back inside the cave.
talking about it. 96.5, The Cave.
$7:45 on a Wednesday morning. Ian Went, John Kane with you till 9 o'clock inside the cave. Thanks for being with us on the air. 965thecave.com. Of course, on your FM dial 96.5 FM. Today we're streaming live on our YouTube channel. That's Lenawee Broadcasting Company. You can find the link on our Facebook and on our Twitter page. We also have Instagram, so check all that out at 965 The Cave. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, Maple City Auto Wash trivia question. Your chance to win a free car wash and get entered into a 1-year unlimited car wash membership. I'll tell you what, John, I went there yesterday. Love the free vacuums. I wish I could enter myself in the contest because I need it. I need the unlimited car washes for a year, but we work here, can't win it, but you can.
Yeah, in addition to the contest, they've got great packages for washing your car almost as much as you want to do it. Check it out. Check it out.
Very affordable. They're out on Main Street, South Main,
Absolutely.
right next to the Speedway gas station.
Right.
You might be driving through there right now.
Could be.
Who knows? Yeah, those vacuums. Can't beat the price, right?
There's a drop.
For what?
For the vacuums.
Oh. You suck? That was one? All right, cool. All right. Let's get back into it. That's gonna be around 8:15. We'll do that. 265-4000. Remember that number to call in later to win. I'm ranking the power rankings for the NFL playoffs, 14 through 1. I have LA at 14, Chicago 13, Washington 12, Indianapolis 10, Indy 11, Seattle 10, Tennessee 9. Number 8, the Cleveland Browns. Look, they're coachless. They beat Pittsburgh, who started Mason Rudolph, no TJ Watt, no Cameron Hayward. They beat them by 2, and they needed a 2-point stop to get to that point. It's going to be a tough road. They got a tough draw with Pittsburgh. But yeah, Cleveland at 8. I mean, they're a good team. I think the dominoes are falling the wrong direction. They're falling off the kitchen table for the Browns.
Well, you'd like some of your people that aren't going to be there to be there, but, like they always say, it is what it is. So they've got to. And, those kinds of things happen, and a lot of times the players that are going to play are a little bit more amped up because of their situation. So we'll see. I see that playing out to be in a similar game, a low-scoring ball game for sure. I'd be surprised if there was a lot of points put on the board in that game.
Number 7, a team in the same division, Baltimore. Might have them too low. They're a hot team right now in the NFL. They got in the playoffs via wild card. They're the 5 seed. They're going to travel to Tennessee. Maybe that's why I don't put them quite as high. It's because I think Tennessee can control the clock, but Baltimore can too. Will playoff Lamar Jackson show up? That's up in the air.
Yeah, and you remember when he first came in the league, he was like unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, it never fails to happen that you get situations like this, and the defenses always figure it out somehow. They always figure out a way to stop the unstoppable. And so Jackson's got maybe to reinvent himself a little bit. But like I said, I think it's the most interesting contest that's going to go on in the first round. You get that a lot with what?
It's the 4 or 5.
4 or 5. You're going to get that in a 4 or 5. But yeah, absolutely.
So Baltimore at 7. The division rival, the team that battled them pretty tough this year, Pittsburgh. I mean, they you can say they stumbled into the playoffs, but look, this is the same team that won 11 straight. 12-4 is not too bad. If we would have started the year, you told me, hey, Pittsburgh will be 12-4. What? Really? This team that went 8-8 last year missed the playoffs. They're going to improve by 4 games.
Yeah, but see, the thing you got to look at is it was such a dichotomy of a season for the Steelers. I mean, everyone was shocked when they were 10-0. Not that they weren't a good football team, but 10-0, really? No. And then after they went 10-0, everyone was a little shocked that they finished 12-4. What the heck happened down that stretch? I mean, you know, you lose one. It's kind of, isn't it weird?
Well, you lose to the football team,
right?
The Bengals.
Yeah, it's not only that they lost, but it was who they were losing to. That you're going, what? And you know, you lose that first one, and then what happens? You know, you're on a trajectory straight up. You got all the momentum going in the world because you haven't lost a game, and then you lose one, and all of a sudden, you come close to crashing out. I don't know how that works exactly.
Well, yeah, the injury bug hurt them, and that's part of the reason they're not in my top 5. It's like, look, Devin Bush is a difference maker at linebacker. Bud Dupree, a difference maker. They're both out for Pittsburgh. Number 5, Tampa Bay. They got a pretty good draw for being a wild card. They go to Washington. Still worried about Washington's D-line. They're really talented. But, I mean, Tom Brady is on fire. He's been lighting it up.
Well, you know, I got my biggest problem is with Tampa is, you know, anyone that squeaks by the Lions, I don't have a lot of confidence in.
They didn't. You might be thinking New Orleans.
No.
Tampa Bay crushed Detroit.
Well, your definition
Tom didn't play in the second half or fourth quarter.
Your definition of squeak by and mine are a little bit different, that's all.
Well, mine's based on points. What's yours based on?
Well, we can get to that another time.
Okay. Do you have a problem with Tampa Bay that high? Or do you think that's about right at 5?
You know, maybe.
Okay. Strong opinions here inside the cave today. Thanks, John. Number 4. Nervous about this one. New Orleans. I'm nervous putting them that high. I mean, they're better than Tampa. They beat them twice. Granted, that was earlier on in the season.
You worried the Breeze is going to hold up?
A little bit.
I think that's one of the, you know, to me, if he doesn't get MVP, I'm going to be upset.
Drew?
Yeah. From what he came back from to play as well as he's played this season. Yeah. I think that.
Well, he'll be in the conversation.
I think that deserves a lot. I mean, who comes back from that and is able to play and at a level to get them into the playoffs and do as well as they did? Nobody's done that.
I think the Saints
extra special.
The Saints need to show up against Chicago because that defense can ball, and they're playing inside, so you can get better footing for those edge rushers to go make things happen. But yeah, will it be another heartbreak in a playoff game for the Saints for like the 4th year in a row?
So
it's looming large.
Looming large, but you're picking the Saints.
We're not at our picks yet.
I know, but you're going to pick the Saints, and I'll get stuck with the Bears.
Yeah, because you're the contrarian. Yeah, I was thinking about this morning before the show. Like, if there's a team that's going to upset based on the rankings, it's not Tampa Bay.
It's the Bears.
I was thinking the Bears. I don't think Indy has a chance against Buffalo. I don't think Cleveland has a chance against Pittsburgh. It might be Chicago. And the defense just clamping down on the offense for New Orleans. I don't know. Green Bay at number 3 might be too low. Aaron Rodgers is playing MVP level football for the Pack. Defense might still be a question mark. Kansas City at number 2. Aren't they kind of coasting? kind of sleepwalking through some of these?
You know, it always happens this way. You win the Super Bowl, and then the next year it's kind of like, you know, it
Win close.
well, you can't. There isn't any way unless you win the Super Bowl the next year, which hasn't been done.
In a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's always like the fan base is going, "What's going on, huh? What's going on here?" No, you know, you got those the ones in the top three are probably pretty darn interchangeable.
Yes. Yeah, I got Buffalo at 1. They're on fire. I mean,
And I picked them start of the season. They were my team.
you're a big Bills fan.
Yes, that's
You think the Lions should model
absolutely
Mhm.
what the Bills have done. And so I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. I picked them to win start of the season. I don't know if it's going to happen, but they were my team beginning of the year.
So there you have it. My wild card power rankings, 14 through 1, for all the qualifying teams for the NFL playoffs. We will take a break. On the other side, 8 o'clock hour, we'll do a sports update at the top. Dive back in. We're talking sports inside the cave. Ian Wentz, John Kane. We'll be right back.
Sports from Southeast Michigan. WLEN Adrian HD2 W243AD 96.5 The Cave.
96.5 The Cave. Lenawee County Sports. Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan, this is Inside the Cave.
Bobby
on
Lane.
96.5 FM and 965thecave.com. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle.
Close.
Where we give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players.
Oh,
And
man.
get ready to start your day.
Good morning.
Now grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass, because it's time to go inside the cave.
Welcome into our second hour of Inside the Cave. I'm Ian Wendt. That's John Kane, ready to go, talking sports till 9 o'clock. We appreciate you tuning in.
You got to find a way to replicate what you did.
Sounds good.
Probably our best 60-minute performance of the year.
That's right.
We'll be hearing from him shortly.
That's right. Adrian College women's hockey coach Sean Skelly joining us inside the cave, talking about their most recent matchups with Division I talent as they traveled out east. Also, in about 15 minutes, our Maple City Auto Wash trivia question of the week. It's Lions related, so put on your Lions thinking cap at about 8:15.
That's the thing there. There's not anybody thinking about the Lions. They to do that, they'd have to find it. I don't know, and they don't know where it's at.
Like,
think
about the Lions bash your head on the steering wheel.
The Lions thinking cap. I mean, they don't even know where that's at. They haven't known for years where that's at.
But a chance to win a car wash.
There
so
you
maybe
go.
Think about the Lions
yeah,
for a
and
car
get
wash.
and a chance to win a lot of car washes.
That's right. The three local football teams still in the playoffs, Clinton, Lenawee Christian, Sand Creek, were all able to start practicing again recently. To say it's been challenging and frustrating is an understatement. We spoke with Clinton head coach Jeremy Fielder.
The most frustrating thing is the restart, shutdown, and then just the not knowing. Honestly, it's being shut down and then being told we'll be able to finish because of the testing protocol, and then not necessarily knowing what that protocol entails until right during the holiday season. Right after Christmas, we find out everything that we're going to have to do. But it is what it is. And we're just going to be happy to continue to be able to participate, and we'll do what we need to do.
Coach notes that normally the entire town of Clinton would travel to the games to root for them, but not in this strange season.
Well, no, nobody is. We're the only ones because the MHSA is not allowing any spectators. So, it's extremely stressful situation for the parents. It really is, especially of the seniors. To have to miss something of this magnitude. But you know what? Just like everything else, this is what we have to do to get it done. It's difficult. It's going to be difficult on the moms and dads and the families.
And that was Clinton Redskins football coach Jeremy Fielder. Lenawee Christian football coach Bill Wilharms echoes the sentiment of Coach Fielder that it's been kind of crazy.
The big delay, then getting that going, for a couple of days, then getting told to stop again, and now getting used to the testing and all of that. But my hat's off to my kids and to our coaching staff, and I think around the county with Clinton and St. Creek, everybody's willing to jump through the hoops to get that opportunity to play. And right now everybody's been tested negative, so that's a positive for us.
And we'll be previewing the Clinton, Lenawee Christian, and Sand Creek playoff games Thursday and Friday here inside the cave. Couple of very recognizable names for local fans. Calvin Megatron Johnson and Charles Woodson are named for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They were nominated. Johnson spent 9 seasons with Detroit, over 11,600 yards, nearly 100 touchdowns as he got 96. Woodson won the Heisman at Michigan. Then in the NFL, posted 38 picks on 115 passes defensed for the Green Bay Packers. He holds franchise records for most touchdowns on interceptions with 9 and the most defensive touchdowns with 11. Peyton Manning, to no one's surprise, is among 15 finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2021. Star quarterback, 5 NFL MVP awards, 2 Super Bowl titles with Indy, and then again with Denver. Peyton played in 18 NFL seasons. He had 14 of those with 4,000 plus yards passing. Here we go. Spartans get a couple wins in a row. Aaron Henry scored 20 points, 8 boards, 4 blocks. He's really shown up as of late. Number 23 MSU pulled away to beat number 15 Rutgers 68-45. Sparty had a 17-point scoring edge in the second half to win their second straight game in the Big Ten after 3 straight losses.
Rocket Watts at the point. 10 on the shot clock. He's breaking to the basket. Picks up the dribble now to Hauser. Hauser launches a 3. He got it.
Wow, did Michigan State need that? And did Joey Hauser need that? Great shot.
He got it. Scarlet Knights, they struggled. 0 of 7 at the line to start. They would make just 3 of 12 for Rutgers. For the Detroit Tigers, they have signed outfielder Robbie Grossman to a 2-year, $10 million contract that includes performance bonuses. Still waiting to sign my 2-year, $10 million contract, but good for him. Seems like a solid move for Detroit. He's 31 years old. He spent his last 2 seasons out in Oakland.
Yeah, I got a question for that previous story.
Sure.
Is Aaron related to Derek?
I don't think so.
They're both big guys.
They are? I think I would have heard of that by now.
Really?
Yeah, I think that would have been put out there.
You sure?
Yeah. All right, the Detroit Red Wings. They've spent half a decade rebuilding. This might still not be a year for the proud franchise to get back to the playoffs. They finished the NHL season last year with 23 fewer points than any other team in the pandemic-altered season that was mercifully 71 games. We all seem confident, though, that Stevie Y can bring the Red Wings back to greatness.
Yeah, 23 fewer points. Let's give the number 1 draft pick to the Rangers.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Speaking of number 1, you can move on over running backs. Alabama wide receiver Devonta Smith has emerged as the best player in college football. Smith became the first wide receiver to win the Heisman Trophy in 29 years Tuesday night, breaking the monopoly quarterbacks have had on college football's most prestigious award by beating out 3 of them. Devontae with this message to all the youngsters out there listening.
Not the biggest, not the strongest. Just keep pushing, because I'm not the biggest. I've been doubted a lot just because of my size. And really, it just comes down to you put your mind to it, you can do it. No job is too big. If you put your mind to it, you can do it, and just keep believing in God, and you'll get where you want to be.
The Crimson Tide seniors, the 4th receiver to win the Heisman, joining Michigan's Desmond Howard in 1991, Notre Dame's Tim Brown in 87, and Nebraska's Johnny Rodgers in 1972. College Football Playoff Executive Director Bill Hancock says the national championship game between number 1 Alabama, number 3 Ohio State is still a go for Monday night. Ohio State was in contact reportedly with the officials for the game about possible player availability related to the COVID-19 virus that could force the game to be delayed. A person with knowledge of the situation confirmed those discussions with the Associated Press. Well, it was yesterday hearing from head coach for Alabama, Nick Saban. Today his counterpart, Ryan Day from Ohio State, on the big title game next Monday night. Here's Coach.
Our guys fought so hard to have this opportunity, and now we're here. Unbelievable opportunity to play. Great program. So much respect for Coach Saban and his staff and the players and their tradition of winning there. So, really looking forward to a great week of preparation as we work our way down to Miami.
And that was Ohio State head football coach Ryan Day. 2 days after celebrating their return to the NFL playoffs, the Cleveland Browns, they'll go into their postseason with a disadvantage. Coach Kevin Stefanski tested positive for COVID-19. He will miss Cleveland's first playoff game since the 2002 season. Special teams coordinator Mike Pfeiffer will be the acting head coach against the Steelers on Sunday. Pro Bowl guard Joel Bitonio and wide receiver Kadero Hodge, they also tested positive, along with 2 more assistant coaches. That's it for our update for the 8 o'clock hour. We do those weekdays 7 and 8 o'clock inside the cave. There you have it.
There you have it.
Yep, in just 5 short minutes, we'll be doing our Maple City Auto Wash trivia question. It's Lions related.
Get ready.
You'll have to put on your way back time
Mr.
machine.
Peabody.
That's right. I guess some of you get that reference. So there we go. We have our live stream up on YouTube. That's on Lenawee Broadcasting Company YouTube channel. You can find the link on our Facebook and our Twitter page. You can join inside the cave and say hi, and there you go.
Well, it's going to be cool. As you said, we got Sean Skelly coming up, and we're going to talk about the Adrian College women's hockey team. It's been an interesting year already.
It has. They had some exhibition against Trine and some other opponents, and then they go out exhibition contest against 2 D1 programs out east. A couple of top teams actually in Division 1. The Bulldogs did battle with them. So John, you don't have social media, so you don't get this. You don't really understand the whole point of it. But one of the things people do with their social media platform is sort of put out predictions or hot takes.
Who does
like that?
You?
No, a lot of people. A lot of people.
Oh.
It's one of the many uses of social media.
What are the hot takes that you've done?
Well, this wasn't a hot take. It was more of a prediction. I wanted to put it out there before it happened last night that I thought Devonta Smith was the Heisman Trophy winner. And
Well, you put that out there?
I did. The show was at 7. They announced it around 8 o'clock last night, Eastern time.
And you put it out, what, 8:15?
No, I put it out about 6-ish.
Oh.
6:15 or so on my Twitter.
Okay.
Great season. I thought Mac Jones had a good year as well. His quarterback helps when you throw it to him. And Trevor Lawrence, too.
Well, there wasn't, Mac Jones wasn't going to win the Heisman, I don't think. Only because I think most people thought he was the 3rd best quarterback in the Heisman race. Behind Lawrence and Trask. So, I didn't think he was going to win.
No, the award was virtual.
Right. I thought, to tell you the truth, I thought Lawrence would probably win because the 2 Alabama players might divide some of the votes, but it was probably worked out that Jones didn't get enough votes pulled away from Smith for anyone but Smith to win it. So
yeah, here's
good.
Here's how the voting sort of shook out. We have Devonta Smith, 447 first place votes for a total of 1,856. Trevor Lawrence, second, 222, 1187 for the total points. So about 700 more points total for Devonta Smith. Now, do you think if Trevor Lawrence would have played the rest of the games, because he had to sit out a while with COVID,
right?
How much of that do you think factored in? Because they voted before the playoff game.
Right.
So do you think that factored in quite a bit, that he didn't play and he could not rack up the numbers?
No.
You don't think it factored in?
I don't think he was going to win. I think there was a number of Heisman voters that voted for Smith because they wanted to vote for him, not only because he's good, but there hasn't been a wide receiver in the mix in years. And of course, you go way, way back to the last time they actually won it. There hasn't been one in the mix in years. And I think they wanted somebody different to vote for besides a quarterback. And I don't think so. I think it was going to be Smith all the way this year. I thought that perhaps Jones would pull enough votes away from him. and that Lawrence would be able to sneak in, but it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
And of course, it's Alabama was number one, been number one. That plays into it. They were number one for the entire season. That's part of the way it is. It's the way it is.
I'm not going to say Lawrence did not win it because he didn't play those few games. So. But, he was in a situation, and I think Smith might have been too, where you're not playing in the fourth quarter. Like, Lawrence would put up 70 on Georgia Tech and then go on the bench. Well, he can't continue to rack up yards and points and things like that. So statistically, that might have hurt him. But I can't agree more that Smith was deserving and clearly the best player in college football. Lions fans might be crossing their fingers that the Bama receiver falls to them at number 7. Speaking of the Lions,
I'm just saying, the Lions don't know if the guy is durable enough to take as their first round pick. They can't afford to miss again. They missed last year with Okudah. They can't afford to miss again with number 1.
It's now time for today's trivia question. It's being brought to you by Maple City Auto Wash on Main Street next to Speedway Gas Station in Adrian. First correct answer will receive a free car wash. That's right, a free car wash. The contest will be running every other week on WLEN, every week here on 96.5 The Cave until November 2021. All the winners from both stations will be entered in for a chance to win a free 1-year membership for unlimited car washes, 1 winner per station per year. So all you have to do is, number 1, know the correct answer. Number 2, call us. We'll take your answer on the air at 517-265-4000. 265-4000 with 517 being the area code. It's been 2 decades plus since the Lions have won a playoff game. The last time they did it was at the Pontiac Silverdome. They beat the Cowboys 38-6. Who was the Detroit Lions quarterback for that playoff game-winning team? Who was the Lions quarterback for their playoff win against the Dallas Cowboys? 265-4000. We'll take your answer here on the air. You will win that free car wash, and you will be entered to win the 1-year unlimited car washes from Maple City Auto Wash. 265-4000. 265-4000.
You know what you need to do here?
What?
When we finally do it in November and we pick the winner,
what?
You just make friends with them, and then maybe once in a while they'll take your car.
Oh, what an idea.
There you go.
I might have to.
Yeah, that's unlimited.
I'd have to make a friend.
Right. That would be the most difficult part. But, work on it, and maybe, they would
take till November.
Yeah. Maybe after it gets picked and you find out who it is, then you make a friend with them, and then maybe they'll take your car once in a while. Might not bring it back, but
right.
They could like your car better than theirs.
They might. So 265-4000. The starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions that beat the Dallas Cowboys at the Pontiac Silverdome back in 1992 was the last time the Lions won a playoff game. Cowboys head coach was Jimmy Johnson. There was quarterback controversy in Dallas. Troy Aikman was injured earlier on the season. Steve Furline came in and led them to the playoffs. They both played in that game for Dallas, but Detroit really gave it to them. That was Barry Sanders at running back. Lomas Brown, of course, you hear him on the broadcast for the games. Defensive talent of Chris Spielman and Ray Crockett for the Lions on defense. Certainly, the storyline was Barry Sanders making Cowboys disappear left and right and getting that victory. But you can be a winner this morning. 265-4000. Who was the Lions starting quarterback for that football game? John, you made a guess that was wrong.
I said Bobby Lane.
Yeah. No.
No?
It's not Bobby Lane.
I
And it
know. I
wasn't-
know he won a playoff game.
Right. Was it the NFL then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was he won a champion. He won a championship.
Right, not a Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, back then that's what it was.
Right, yeah.
It was the Super Bowl.
And
back
then he
then.
cursed the team on his way out
Mhm.
the door.
So I thought maybe it was Bobby. No, huh? Okay.
No. No, it was not Bobby. And it was not Matthew Stafford,
Bobby
who
was,
was born by that time.
was born.
But he was not playing quarterback at that time.
You don't know that. Were you in his backyard? You don't know that. He could have been throwing. She could have been chucking it around back then.
Right, but one thing I do know about Stafford is that he was childhood friends with Clayton Kershaw. Did you know that?
No.
You never listened to a Lions game or a Dodgers game? Yeah, they grew up together. They were on the same team. Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, breaking news.
They were both on the
from
Dodgers?
10 years
I
ago.
didn't know Stafford was on the
No.
Dodgers for a while.
Goodness gracious, back in high school. So there was a quarterback controversy of their own in Detroit. I'll give away the answer right now. Since we didn't get a phone call, no one wants to listen or hear about the Lions today. That's fine. Understandable. There was a quarterback issue. Rodney Peete, Andre Ware, and Eric Kramer all spent time at Lions quarterback for Detroit. Kramer emerged as the starter, and he would start this game for Detroit. So it was Eric Kramer, the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions in their last playoff win in 1992. There you go.
There you go.
You missed out, you the listener, your opportunity for the free 1-year membership for unlimited car washes and a free car wash, courtesy of us here at The Cave. Maybe next week. Today's trivia has been brought to you by Maple City Auto Wash, home of the best free vacuums. I can vouch for that. And carpet mat cleaners. Be sure to check out their membership packages for big savings. Who doesn't love a clean car? Maple City Auto Wash gets your vehicle clean, dry, and shiny every time. And I went there yesterday. Can't beat it. I even paid for it, John. I didn't have to call into a radio show to win that.
Well, you're not eligible.
I know. Well, I'll call in next week. 265-4000. We need to take a break. On the other side of it, Adrian College women's hockey coach Sean Skelly talking about his latest adventures, taking on Division I talent, going on the road in this COVID era. We'll sort of talk about how his team is gearing up for a regular season of NCHA hockey. You're listening to Inside the Cave, 96.5 FM, 965thecave.com. we thank you for rocking out with us inside the cave. Ian Wendt, John Kane with you till 9 o'clock for this segment of the show. We have Adrian College women's hockey coach Sean Skelly joining us on the phone lines. A day late, but here we go. Nonetheless, Coach, good morning. How are you?
Morning, fellas. Thanks again. Happy New Year.
That's right. Happy New Year. It's my first show of 2020. John was here Friday, so
2021.
2021. Gosh, my goodness.
We gotta
Sorry.
forget about 2020.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's easy to forget, for him to forget a year. We've forgotten one, so.
It's like me forgetting to answer the phone yesterday morning.
Yeah, it wasn't my show, so I was like, we'll just get them tomorrow.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy to have you talking to me on the cave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the evil plan worked out. But big time, big weekend, big news in the college hockey world where D3 takes on the D1, and your Lady Bulldogs went out east, and they played really well against a Division I power, traditionally in Mercyhurst. Your Bulldogs going down 3-0, but scoring 2 in the third. Coach, can you kind of walk through that game and just the moment of stepping on the ice for your girls to play a D1 school?
Yeah, but obviously it was quite an opportunity, especially in this pandemic that we're trying to navigate through. Luckily enough, their staff, their administration allowed a non-conference opponent such as ourselves to get on the schedule before their conference schedule gets going again. I think they are playing like this. I mean, they're playing this weekend. So it was a great opportunity. We showed up there. It took us a little while to get our legs going after not playing a hockey game for well over 5 weeks. They took advantage of that. I thought Sophie played really well in net to keep it within reach throughout the first 40. And then we really turned it on in the third period. Like just found another gear. Finally, started making some plays. And we got more pucks in the net, and we're able to put 2 home and make it a game towards the end. And we were able to pull the goaltender and try to get an opportunity. It was an awesome experience. It was good for our girls to understand that if they play the right way, they could kind of hang with one of the number 10 team in the country in Division I hockey, and we're definitely pleased that the progression we had throughout the game.
Coach, give me what you think your impressions or would have been, perhaps, had this game been played at Arrington.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously it would have been incredible just to have a home game. I do think it makes a big difference not having any fans. And now maybe that made it a little easier for our girls, like maybe a little less intimidating to go there and they have no fans. But like I think it would have been a lot of fun if there were some fans available. Like if we were able to play it at home, and that way you have family, friends, supporters. We don't sell out the place ourselves like our men's team does, but at the same time, having those people there, I think can give somebody maybe a little added boost. But we're happy to go anywhere and play anyone at this point.
Yeah, you continued that, Coach, after playing Mercyhurst on the 2nd. You turn around, get back on a bus, and go to Robert Morris. That outcome not ideal, a 7-0 loss for the Bulldogs there, but a team that's in Mercyhurst Conference, correct, and one of the better teams in the country?
Yeah, and I would say they're really good. They were very prepared. I talked to their coach after the game, and he was really impressed with our team, regardless of the score. He said they definitely watched the Mercyhurst game and had some
issues on trying to figure out how to beat our team, but they played really well. They got, I think their back end, their defense averaged almost 6 feet tall. So our girls have never seen come against a team that is that big, which was cool. They had to understand how to play around different players with a lot longer reach than normal, bigger, faster, stronger. It was quite an experience. Regardless of the 7-0 loss, I think we still can build off of a lot of things positively, and then work off of some of the negative things that happen as well.
Yeah, it certainly helps to have now film of your Bulldogs against upper Division I talent. Coach, between the pipes, we talked off the air, you've played a little bit of both. You've had Sophie Goldberg in there, and you've had Mia Glasgow. You went with both against Robert Morris. They've both had stretches of playing really well. Could you talk about those two goalkeepers? And Bulldog fans might be asking, where's Denisa Yandova?
Yeah, no, Sophie played incredible against Mercyhurst. Give her a ton of credit coming off of the long stretch of not playing games. Really got her game honed in before we got to Mercyhurst, and kept us in it. And obviously, we were close to at least tying a really good program. I thought Mia at times on what was that, Monday was really good, and then they obviously popped a few behind us, and then Sophie got back in there for a little while, and they were able to find the twine a few times against her, and then we threw Mia back in. So I think regardless, moving forward, we'd be good with either of them in that. And then Denisa, obviously, we missed her. She was unable to get back in time. She had some travel restrictions, and then some quarantine stuff. So she's actually getting back later this week. It's kind of fortunate that we don't have any games this weekend, and she can get back and get on the ice, and hopefully get back to her form sooner than later.
Sean, you made these trips out east in the past. Was this particular trip perhaps a little more interesting, a little more challenging, not only based on the COVID situation, but the 5-week layoff as well?
Yeah, I don't think, the Mercyhurst one, like we went the day before, stayed in the hotel and for the afternoon game. I think it was much tougher for the Monday game, since we had to come back, do more testing, and then on the Monday we had to get up, we had to test at 6 a.m., get all those negative tests before we got on the bus, and then leave, and then get essentially to the rink by noon, and then play at 2 o'clock. Now, that's not any excuses. We have to get used to that, but it's uncharacteristic for us to be traveling, that far the day of a game. But hey, those were the cards that were dealt. So it's definitely interesting for sure how to navigate the pandemic.
Adrian College women's NCAA ice hockey coach Sean Skelly joining us inside the cave. Coach, if Bulldog fans go over to the website for your team, AdrianBulldogs.com, and they see that schedule, we all know they're tentative for this year, but sort of how accurate is that, and can you sort of lay the groundwork for your NCHA season?
Yeah, well, hopefully some of these games are much more concrete than the tentative situation. We do not have any games this weekend, as Honeybake and Belle Tire, with the Michigan restrictions, they're currently shut down until hopefully those get lifted next week or sooner. Then we're supposed to go to Concordia or have a home and home against Concordia next weekend. the 15th and 16th. So we're slated to have a home game here in Arrington next Friday, and then hit the road to play them on Saturday. And then the weekend after that, we got Honey Bake, and then Little Caesars, and then the weekend after that, both our team and the men's team travel to Aurora to play a couple of games before our conference schedule gets going in February and March, which is will be 8 games and then playoffs. First, we will be playing Aurora University, Lake Forest College, and Shrine University. So a little different than playing the rest of the conference during the year, but we've had to split it up into kind of mini divisions, so that way it limits some travel, and some schools can't have any overnights. And so we've done our best to try to create a schedule that's going to work. Again, my fingers are crossed that we have no issues. And let's just hope for the best and hope we can get everything in.
One more question for a coach regarding the game day or game night experience. It's sort of a foregone conclusion that there will be no fans at the Arrington for the foreseeable future, or what's the plan for that?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of seeing what's going on with I think through the health department, through the governor's mandate. I do know I think there's some tickets being sold for the men's game this weekend against USA, so that might be something that our administration will look at, obviously being a team in Michigan, and they'll make that call. I hope at the very least we can get maybe some family members in. Just I think it would go so far just having mom and dad be able to travel in and watch a game at Arrington. If they can't, we'll deal with it, but hopefully we can get back slowly, to that 20, 30, 40, 50% capacity rate the way we were right near Thanksgiving time last year.
Adrian College women's hockey coach Sean Skelly joining us inside the cave. Coach, as always, we appreciate it, and best of luck staying healthy and getting your team ready to go.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thanks, you too. All right, there you have it. It's a hockey update from Adrian College, courtesy of Coach Sean Skelly. Appreciate that, as always. A couple D1 programs under their belt, the first time that Adrian College has played a Division I women's hockey program. So the next step in that is to get their first win against a D1 program. We'll step aside. We'll wrap up the show in just a couple minutes. Ian Wendt, John Kane, Inside the Cave. 8:50 inside the cave. Ian went. John Kane.
Yeah, nice.
With,
You were gonna come on.
John Kane on a Wednesday. JR pulling a switcheroo with John Kane. It's John and Ian and John inside the cave. We're here till 9 talking sports with you. Glad to have you along for the ride. You can find us on our social media at 965 The Cave, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Today we are live on our YouTube channel. I'm looking at you on Lenawee Broadcasting Company. You can find the link on our Facebook and on our Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, we're gonna go through some polls here, John, to finish out the show. Kind of get our reaction to it, and if we agree or disagree with our Twitterverse. So we're gonna start. Which free agent is a priority to the Lions? Which is more of a priority, Kenny Galladay or Romeo Okwara? I know you're a Notre Dame guy, so you might be geared toward that name. But who's a more important free agent for Detroit?
So are you asking me, or are you going to do the poll?
Oh, the poll right now, it's still up. Kenny Galladay 60%, Okwara 40%.
So
do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
I kind of do too. I think the pressure of Devonta Smith possibly being there at 7 puts pressure on Galladay to maybe say, I can sign and play with this guy, but Okwara is...
The thing about Okwara is that obviously the Lions have to have someone to get pressure on the quarterback. You know, their defense is getting shredded, and one of the reasons is the guy back there's got way too much time to throw the ball. That's part of the problem, number one. Number two, I think if you keep Okwara there and have him teamed up with his brother, they're both playing at a higher level together than they would separately. That's number two. And then, of course, the third thing is how, going forward, how reliable is Galladay going to be from a physical standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, you're worried about Smith possibly having issues. Galladay hasn't played in like 2 months.
Right. And
he's the best receiver they got.
You know, and yeah, he's been great. There's no question about it. But moving forward, you know, once you get dinged up for an extended period of time, a lot of times you don't ever get past that. And I just think of the two, I mean, obviously the Lions would love to have both of them, but of the two, I think Okwara is more valuable at this point.
Sliding through our Twitter feed, the Lions have the 7th pick. Who should they pick in the first round? Quarterback leads that vote with 38%, defensive end at 33%, and 14% each linebacker and receiver. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't think they need to select a quarterback this time. I just, you know, Stafford, unless you're going to just cut Stafford loose, I mean, as long as you can keep him upright, he's really good.
He must be really good. So you go with the defensive end?
I would like to see, I would like to see another defensive end. They have got to get some pressure on the quarterbacks, and because the secondary is getting shredded. You know, they have the last 2 seasons they've had one of the worst defenses or the worst defense in the league, and given up, you know, way too much through the air. Hopefully, next season Okudah turns out to be what they thought he was going to be. That will help a lot. But getting pressure from both sides on the quarterback would be huge for the Lions.
Continuing our Twitter polls here. Our Twitter fans.
But what about you?
What do you mean?
Well, are you going quarterback? What are you doing?
Right now I'm going quarterback.
All right.
But will they stay at 7? That's the question.
Well, I think
they need to hire a GM. And if the GM has the freedom to move Matt Stafford, you might want to.
Okay.
You might want to.
So who are you going to get?
I'm with the 38%.
So at 7, you're going to get what? The guy from BYU?
I don't know if you'd stay at 7. I'm saying you look at moving up. If you're really sold on Fields or quarterback X, we didn't see Patrick Mahomes coming. KC trades up to 10, right, or 9 and picks him. Maybe the Lions have that guy. They trade up, get our guy. Let's go.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
We'll see what the new GM has in mind, but that's what our fans are leaning towards. Our Twitter fans were correct. Devonta Smith won the Heisman Trophy. 80% picked him. Trevor Lawrence second with 17%. Real quick, we'll have to roll off these pretty quick. Who wins the wild card between Cleveland and Pittsburgh? This one's tight. 52% say Cleveland. 47 say Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Yep. And
wow.
Wild card weekend in New Orleans, clobbering Chicago in our Twitter poll. Tennessee edging out Baltimore 57-42. Tampa crushing the football team 83-16. The Seattle Seahawks well over the LA Rams 92% to 8. Buffalo over Indy 93-7. That's it for the Twitter polls. You can vote for those at 965 The Cave. That's it for us. We'll both be back here tomorrow inside the cave.